It's the multidisciplinary part of it that, for me is the aspect of my job that I absolutely love. It's being able to work side by side next to engineers, designers, strategists, model makers, and how someone sees something from an industrial design perspective is so different to how they might see it from an engineering perspective or human factors perspective.
That's half the reason why I joined DCA, was literally the diversity of things. I could be designing aerosol cans to trains or buses or anything like that. So if you're designing something for one aspect of engineering, you could implement an idea from another aspect that you would never normally have thought of.
It's quite good the way that we mix people up within the building, so you're not sitting within a particular skill group. We try and have mechanical engineers, industrial designers, electronics and software people all intermingled within the office.
Where I was before, and the project was created, then it was passed on to engineering, and it was passed on to the next person, and it made it really difficult to feel any integration between the teams, and generally you didn't end up with a result that anybody was particularly happy with, because it had been compromised at every step. On the larger projects, you create a project team, and there's elements of all of those different people in that one project team. It makes the sort of interaction between them much easier, rather than just getting a brief from research and then ID taking it, or engineering designing something and then giving it to ID to put skin on top. It's not the way it works. For me, it's much more efficient, and I think at the end of the day you come out with a better product.
So. He said. And I think the other nice thing from a personal level is that there's a mix of different types of people in the company because of that. You get lots of different personalities, which is good, just from a personal level and also from a professional level. We've got lots of different influences from different industries, and I think it's a much more efficient design process, and it's much more fun.
My first interview really sold me on the company. I got a tour around the offices, and more than anything it was the atmosphere in the offices that I really liked. The work here is good, it's varied. A lot of it is about the team here and the people you work with, and it is just a nice place to work.
There seems to be a general care for the environment that we're working in. They're not just put together in the cheapest possible way, because almost everything is here. You don't have to necessarily travel, so if you've got workshop staff working for you, then they're very close rather than...
Yeah, no, it's nice to have the workshop downstairs. You can just go down and see what they're doing and talking about the best way of making a particular part.
You can learn off these guys, or if you're halfway through a project and think, I wonder if this has any effect on the outcome of the product it produces.
Especially when it is about material finish and the way tactility can alter the way you look at shapes, and that is so important to actually get to the fine detail and just get hands-on with it. You can't do that on your screen. And the guys here, they've got so much experience to tackle it.
You're continually bouncing ideas off each other, and what that means is that because we work on an awful lot of projects with an awful lot of clients, you're able to turn around and talk to an engineer about a problem or talk to a designer about a detail. And having the multiple offices around Warwick allows you to do that. And plus it's nice to be able to just get up out of your desk and just go and have a walk to the other office to go and see another colleague and talk about design, because there's nothing worse than being just stuck behind your desk every day behind a computer screen.
It's not all around and split up for the whole entirety of Warwick. We're still all quite close together, which is really useful. So no one's like really far away or a big walk away.
It's great being in the centre of the town. You can pop out at lunchtime and sort things out, or get some food or whatever else it might be. So
I think it helps you kind of be creative and change your outlook, and you're not just stuck in one place with no fresh air.
So one of the best things about DCA for graduates is that there isn't a graduate scheme. So what that means is that instead of getting rotated around separate departments in a huge company, graduate engineers just get thrown straight into meaningful project work right from the off. If you start working on projects in a certain sector, for example consumer, and decide that you actually want a bit of experience in one of the other sectors, for example medical, it's really easy to just go to your project manager and say, look, I'd quite like to get some experience in one of the other sectors. Training in SolidWorks or Creo, depending on which kind of projects you're working on, is provided as standard to every engineer who starts at DCA. And then if a project requires you to have some more advanced training, for example in FEA or particularly in ANSYS, and that can also be provided by DCA as well.
In terms of if you were thinking of doing it, I would say do it. Come to DCA. I don't think you'll be able to develop any faster in any other companies, at least that I've had experience of. And you really get thrown in at the deep end and get responsibility really early, and have exposure to lots of different types of design activities?
Okay, the reason I got into design was to actually get my ideas out there. And so for me, the best part of the job is once I see the design realised on a shop shelf or out in the wider world, people using it. I think that's what makes it all worth it for me. And when you see it actually works and all of the thought and effort that everyone within the team's put into it, and it's actually making a difference and it's worthwhile, it's no better feeling.
DCA has a social fund which anyone can apply to use. So I take advantage of doing Pilates every week, and also we have summer gatherings and winter gatherings and mountain bike trips.
There's great venues and bars around Warwick to go after work. I went on one of the trips where we all went motocross biking, which was great.
Hiking trips, they've got whitewater rafting, there's different clubs. It's a dynamic group of people who are creative, and you just get this very rare energy in the offices where you just walk in and you just feel like people are really passionate about what they do, they love creating stuff, and it's just a great environment to work in.
Working with Will.
Yeah. Oh, Matt, you beat me to it.
We've got fizzy water dispensers as well. I don't know. I mean, that's important for recruitment. 3 flavours of squash though. That's a bonus. Double concentrate.
I'd say apply.
It just makes sense. It's actually really good fun.